The cards speak. Justice listens. Welcome to the unseen. Truth doesn't hide forever, not from the eyes that see. Spirits stir, clues awaken. Let the seeing begin. Behind every crime, a shadow speaks. I'm Lady Zelda. Welcome to Seeing Crime. Hello there and happy November, everyone. What a blessing to have you in the House of Zelda and with True Oracle tonight. Welcome, welcome. Are you ready for the time change? Don't forget, we fall back tonight. Remember, spring ahead, fall back. Now, in the old days, that was a thing because, well, it was very hard for us to remember because nothing was digital back in the day. We had to remember, right? To adjust our clocks, adjust this, adjust that, all these different things. And yet, we still made it on church on time. That's what it was all about. Hello and welcome to my mods. Thank you. Welcome, True Oracle. And welcome to everyone. We had a good time last night, didn't we? Sorry, I am looking for something and it's not here and it's okay. We had a great time. I had a great time last night. This lipstick has got to go. That's better. I am just really chilling out today. I'm not doing too much of anything much today. Well, I worked around the house today, prepared for tonight, preparing for Monday night. You got to be there. It is Manifestation Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern. So there's a lot of good coming, and you wait, believe me, wait. Monday night is going to be completely awesome. Totally. So let me see if I have any announcements, my darlings. And then I want to just kind of sort of get started with a few little things that I've been hearing today, other than Detective Good. Pardon me. Hi from Finland. Oh, yes. You went into wintertime last Sunday. Yes, did not know that we have it later. Yes, that's indeed we do. I love that. Thank you for being here. I love it. Thank you. I'm honored that you're here. Don't you just love it? And I just want to say I get a lot of replay from people that are outside of the area that we are in here in the United States. And I want to say welcome to all of you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending upon when you see this, because you'll be seeing it tomorrow. And then you're going to say, hey, I'm on the replay crew. And you don't know how much I adore that and how much I really love it. Hello from the Virgin Islands. Oh my goodness, St. Croix. Oh, that's tough to take. How do you do that? Welcome, my darling. Welcome. Thank you. Welcome. So tonight is going to be a little different. Now, I was going to come on here and talk about Karen Reed and Detective Good riddance, good, and all of this. But there's something else, because I'm kind of in the mood to be talking a little bit of odd things. So I want you to prepare, okay? I want you to prepare, because I'm going to be just kind of talking a little bit about some things that maybe maybe you don't know, but definitely what you do know is that we are not afraid to go down the bunny trail. And sometimes we just have to do that. No, good. That's right. Sometimes we just have to hop on down the bunny trail, right? That's just the way it is. Just a minute. Somebody is scratching about. Don't know what that's all about. Anyway, so now I'm gonna show you a little something, but I can't help myself because I'm gonna show you something that I made. Now, for any of you bad actors, that includes Jennifer McCabe, that includes the Canton Police Department, that includes the DA's office, that includes the McAlberts, everyone who has had anybody any to do anything there. I have a little something for you. Get ready. Here we go. Look, there is the FBI ice cream truck. And who do we have there? We have Jen and we have Carrie waiting patiently for the feds to come forward with their ice cream truck. I'm going to play that again just so you can see it. You can see I made it on an AI there. So isn't that funny? So something for them to look forward to, basically, because quite frankly, you know what I've said. You know what I have said, and that is, I don't believe that Agent Oobligada ever left. I don't believe they ever left. Because that's how they operate. They make you think that they're doing something that they're not, and then they do something anyway. That's the way. That's the way. You want to see it again? Okay, here we are. There we are. There's Jen and Carrie. Look, they have their little cones. Make sure you brush your teeth, ladies. Make sure you brush your teeth. That's how it goes. There you are. Hold on a second. I had to see what Bilbo was up to. I'm breaking down a bunch of boxes that I receive things in, and I have them all tidy and ready to go out to the bin. But I get stopped because Bilbo, Petey, and some other people have the last open box that they are sitting on top of a stack of boxes because we buy our water on Amazon. It comes in a box. I don't drink the water here. And so they're over there and they're making a little noise, but they're very comfortable. And I would prefer that they be comfortable. So just so you know, if you hear something, and my son is actually streaming live on Twitch right now, and you may hear him laughing and maybe saying a few choice words. It's okay. We're good. Anyhow, my darlings, I saw this article, and you know, I have to dig deep. I have to go a little deeper. And I'm going to give you a little hint. I'm going to give you a little hint about what we're going to be talking about. Are you ready? Are you ready? Well, first of all, we have to have this. Bringing everyone into the House of Zelda. I've got the fire going. Look. Could that be Lord Gregor in the background? Gee, I wish it were. Hello, me lord. Glad you're here. So anyway, my darlings. Hello, Renee. Hello, everyone coming in. I love it. I love it. Here we go. Are you ready? Prepare thyselves. Because when you hear this, you're going to be like, what? What? And by the way, I just want to tell you something that just pleased my heart today. I've been watching my son on Twitch. That it actually is. It's not Twitter. Twitch is a platform where they have gamers, and he's playing in a little, I guess, mock tournament or something. And I was playing. All of a sudden, he starts playing this music. And it was so familiar. And it was White Snake. Is This Love? I thought I was going to shapeshift for a second. I thought, oh my heck, is this a blast? Oh my gosh, I love that. And he comes out and I said, Bud, what's that music? And he goes, Mom, I didn't know if you'd like that or not. That's White Snake. I'm like, hello, like that or not. I mean, that's my jam. That's my jam. What White Snake did for the rock and roll industry was earth shattering and groundbreaking. Is This Love, White Snake? Yes. Go listen to it if you haven't heard about it. Here we go. Are you ready? Get set. Let's play that again so you don't miss it. That, my darlings, is what we're going to be talking about tonight. Now, when you hear this, oh, hold on, just gave my Amazon Prime sub to Ian on Twitch. Oh, bless you. I'll tell you what. Let me put his link in the chat. And if you decide you want to go over there and say hello, you're more than welcome to. That's very kind. Thank you. So there he is. And I got to tell you, this is good for him. Someday, maybe but this is good for him. So thank you so much. We love the support. And I'm hearing today that he actually was telling his buddies, hey, look, my mom, Mama Path. Now that's what he calls me, because his name on there is Honest Path. Well, it is I'm Mama Path. I mean, love it. I just love it. So thank you so much. So anyway, my darlings, hold on. I've got him muted and I need to just turn him down. Otherwise, it ain't good. Anyway. Oh, I see where you subscribed. Thank you. You guys are so gorgeous to me. I know you love I know. Listen, he is the kindest young man. Seriously. Anyway, let's look at this again and then we'll get started. Thank you, my darlings. Welcome to November 1st because it is Alien Day here at the house of Zelda. Let me give you a little hint about what's going on. Okay. So they said it was a drone. And my question, and I want you to question all this. So why on earth did the FBI agent Ubligada seal the desert? And yes, that has happened. The desert on Highway 375 near Area 51, and they call that the ET Highway, phone home. They call it the ET Highway for a reason. Something crashed on public land near Area 51, and now it is now they have restricted an area over 100 miles. Now, the official, because you always know, and you always know me because, hello, I'm here for the bunny trails, right? So the official narrative, the official line, is that the Air Force at Creech Air Force Base says it's a UAV, which for those of you who don't know, that is an unmanned aerial vehicle, went down. That means it is a very large military drone with no pilot aboard, but flown remotely or an onboard AI. They later claimed the site showed signs of tampering. So that's when our buddies, Agent Ubligada and his buds from the FBI, joined the probe. It was such a big deal that they had an aviation lockdown. The FAA issued a TFR, which is a temporary flight restriction over the crash area. Now there's something going on there. And that's when they literally closed the sky. Seriously, they literally closed the sky. How, I mean, no civilian planes. You can't fly over. There's no news choppers, nothing. So whatever's happening stays invisible from above. If you go up close to anything, these men in these little white ranger looking trucks come out, and they have things that they have to have two hands to hold. And no, we're not going there. It's not that, because, oh, okay, I could go. Anyway, it's like this. And they don't point them at you, but they're just holding them. It's an intimidation type thing. So how did they know all this? So Area 51 monitors caught a radio chatter. Yeah, they have those there near Area 51, like Zelda, who monitors stuff. The radio chatter was UAV with ordnance and asset down. The audio clip went viral, and then the Daily Mail stepped in and posted it. So I'm not telling you, I'm telling you facts, I'm not telling you, but I think there's more to this bunny trail than meets the eye. So before dawn, the roads were sealed, and if there wasn't going, if this wasn't anything, my friends, why did they take fresh dirt and pour it over all the blackened patch where this thing went down? The satellite trackers noticed the new road cut straight into the desert. A new road to... So here's two pathways down the bunny trail. It can be road, pathway a routine drone mishap. Okay, fine. It happens. A little baby air collision with a little baby drone. It fits the Creech's mission. Creech is the Air Force base there. A test flight gone wrong because the FBI there says that somebody planted fake debris. Probably Proctor. He's very good at planting fake debris, isn't he? Where was he? Perhaps we need to check the flight plans and see if Proctor was on a flight going out to Area 50. I know. Zelda, calm down. Road or Pathway B is something stranger, and I'm a subscriber of that. So veteran reporters and locals of Area 51 of around there say the lockdown was just too extreme for a normal crash. What does that mean? It's my understanding that debris was everywhere, like it just went flying. So why the dirt fill? Why the night-long air blockade? And why the federal hush? We know how the hushes go. We're experiencing a hush now on another situation, but we won't go there either. So my questions to you, my darlings, are this. If it was just a drone, why was the FBI involved instead of just a simple military recovery team? And would a TFR, which is the temporary flight restriction, be necessary unless something truly sensitive was on the ground? And when they say an asset down, do they mean equipment? What type of asset are they talking about? Equipment or something else? So everything here comes from an open report. No claims of aliens, no conspiracy certainties, just the public facts and lockdown desert. But still, when the FBI steps in and the skies are closed over Area 51, something stinks. And you can bet there's a story buried in that sand. And will anybody ever get to that story? I doubt it. You can read more about this. Yes, you're here, my son. You can read more about this. I did not hear about this if it's in the last 10 years. This happened. I was going to say last month. We're in November now. This happened in late September of 2025. This was like a month ago. Yeah, about 30, 35, 40 days ago is when this happened. This, yeah. If you can imagine, if you can imagine. Oh, and yes, somebody just said Zelda, you grifter, you. I got a very sweet comment that says, "No, I'm not a grifter." And you know what? I say that stuff because quite frankly, it just you know, I don't care what anybody says about me. If they think that I'm a grifter, okay, I guess they're not paying attention. That's how I feel about it. If they think I'm a grifter, they're not paying attention. And you know what? That's not my fault if they're not. So, how large was this drone standing? Well, yeah, see, I knew it would be the first time you guys are hearing about this because it's a hush hush thing. And evidently, for this, because it's my understanding that there was one gentleman that, Jerry, look at this. Look at this, Captain Jerry. Look at that picture. Wherever she's going, I want to go with her. Did you look at that profile picture here? Sunglasses, hat, color me there. Right? You guys, I bless you, you guys. You are so sweet and thankful. You know what? I just think it's funny. Because you know why? I'm here. Okay. I wonder if I'm supposed to be talking about this. Um, yeah, see, if the Daily Mail, and thank you so much because you guys are all so kind and sweet, but you know, I just don't. I'm, you know what? I'm kind of. I don't want to say I don't care, but I'm going to say it. I really don't give a Scheissele, mein süßer Scheissele. There you are. Back to Area 51. Evidently, there was a gentleman that got in his little, he heard this. You know, there are those there. I would love to visit. Got in his little vehicle, trucked on down the road, 375 highway, the ET highway. And he was met by these two people, or these two guard military types in unmarked vehicles. They were white vehicles, so they were government. It's either usually black or white, and out in the desert, sometimes it's more white than black. I don't know why that is. But they met him in full force, like type stuff, right? Lock and load. They were not pointing. And they basically, you know, did this, like, you better turn your crack around and get on down the road. And then he goes down another way, and there's a helicopter sitting by the road, and there's huge bins. So evidently it was for picking up the crash site, putting the elements in the bins so they could fly them off to parts unknown. Then what was seen are two porta potties out in the middle of the desert. Now, when they put porta potties out in the desert, that's serious. That's serious. Because that means not only are they there for a minute, they're planning on staying, and they need a place to go. They just can't drop trowel anywhere, or they shouldn't. Maybe they can. So Evidently, it was a 100-mile uh, circumference around this crash site because they said that you just couldn't get it. You just couldn't get close. You know, if they made it 20 miles, you might be able to get with some type of capture device, or you might be able to get a drone up. They. Now, my question is always, if this is this, what else is going on? What else don't we know? And it was one of ours. Well, I don't know if it was the military is saying, "Oh, it's nothing." Okay, well, if it's nothing, why is the FBI there? Hello. Well, I don't think I don't think that type of thing. I don't think the president has anything to do with it because you know, we have people making decisions in that particular type of area we don't even know about. In fact, I'm the first one who, I think a month ago, was watching the Senate hearings on uh, I still call them UFOs, but they call them UAVs now. And it's amazing how these military types were basically testifying in Congress. It was kind of like, oh, well, skippity doo dah. What? I want to know. I want to know. Now, you've got that, now I'm not that type of bunny trail conspiracy person. I know. I'm like not that type where it's like, oh my gosh, the world is coming to an end. These are really devils. These are fallen angels. Well, I got news for everybody. A fallen angel devil doesn't need a craft to float in. Okay? So maybe they're not such good. Hello. But when I started reading on this, and the more I read, the more it was hush. The more it was hush, the more I read. And then it was kind of like, why? And then it's kind of like this, what about, I don't think it's the Chinese doing something. Not over Area 51. Frankly, from what I read and my take on this, and I'm just going to tell you something. What I think is, yes, I did wear a Halloween mask costume. I certainly did, my darling. What I really think this is, I think it was something coming in to land and it crashed. I think that there's something there. I know that there's something there, just like I know that there's something under the Denver airport. Definitely. Definitely. If you've ever been to the Denver airport and you've looked at the art on the walls and you see things that kind of like doorways that go and hallways that go into absolutely the cosmic unknown. Yeah. But back to Area 51. I think that it's the same as, because you're not supposed to be getting even in the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon. There are certain things there, they back your crack up really, really quickly. If you go snooping around. I know, I was there. And So I don't know. The there's see, and I don't know if you've heard this or not, but one of the congressmen that I really, really like, he's from the great state of Tennessee. His name is Tim Burchett. Was talking, he was with a naval type of commander and said that when they were out and they had a drone, they spotted something so large in the ocean, it was bigger than a football field, and it was hovering under the ocean. So I believe oceans, space, in our back door. So that's what I'm thinking. And this even, hello, let's get started. This even gets mentioned in the Bible of the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1. He describes a UFO. So I just think that there's more out there. Now, I want to show you something. Let me find it again. I got to find it again. I got to show you these things. I got to show you these things. And these are in the life of Christ. Renaissance art. Art that was a long time ago. I don't know if you have seen these or not, but, the mystery of the Madonna. I'm going to show this to you. See if I can get it closer. See if I can get it closer to you. Yes, I can. Let me share this. Let me share this with you. We are definitely not alone. Let me see. Where are we? Oh, I guess that means I have too many tabs open. Give me a second. Look at this. Now, right behind, let me see if I can make it bigger, my darlings. Don't know if I can on this StreamYard. Maybe. Right behind Madonna's head. And now this is an old, I mean, seriously, let's see when this, well, okay, fine, we'll accept it. I want to see when this is. An Italian Roswell, let me see. The flying saucer, I want to see. The 15th century. 15th century, this painting. I don't think you can see my mouse, but right behind the Madonna's head. And you can see this little man right behind her left shoulder there. He's standing on a rock. It is flipping well, amazing. And there's a saucer. And this was painted in the 15th century. If you ever want to do a deep dive, you go and just do UFOs and old art. Talk about going down the bunny trail. So no, we definitely are not alone. I saw this and I thought, oh well, I've got to shake it up a little bit. Well, I mean, right, we have aliens on cave drawings. We have aliens. I mean, there's just all kinds of things there. So yeah, oh yeah, there are many. Let me see. I'm going to find another one here that I've always loved, and I can't find it. Give me a second. I mean, crop circles, all kinds of different little things. I mean, it's sort of kind of amazing. Okay, here's a bigger one of that painting. Let me oh no, this is on Instagram. I don't want to show that Instagram. I'll get in trouble. On the grams of the Insta, there was another one. Look at this one. You guys are going to love this one. I'm going to show it to you. Give me a sec. There's the one. Where's the other one I want? This is one from 1486. Wait till you see this one. Give me a second. In 1814, it took a little trip. No, it's 1486, Zell. All right, let's try this. Oh, which one is it? Okay, it's this one. I have so many tabs open. There we are. Watch this one. Look at this one. Now, I don't know if you can see it. You may have to come up here pretty close. Let me see if I can get it closer. No. 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 Zelda, go back. In the sky there, this is from 1486. In the sky, you can see this right. You can see the little pathway of sky, and then there's this little circle, and it's showing this beam coming down. And look at the people. They're upset, and they're kind of running. Yeah. 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 Hold on. I'm going to show you more. There's more. There's more. Look at this one. This was in 1710. The baptism of Christ. This is the whole thing. But look what's above there. Look what's above there. Let me see if you've got, yeah, look. This is no joke. I mean, these are just like, look at this one. This is St. Augustine and the Devil in 1475. Look, he gives new meaning to the phrase butthead. Look at that devil. Is this just not wild? Butthead. Because he's got a little face on his butt. That is a very famous one. I started seeing these. There's oh, let me see. Great. Next. Do we have any next? Oh no. Hello. Get us back to where we want. There is a, yeah, there we are. Okay. So we saw that one. There's that one. And look, they're just kind of like going about their own business, but they feel scurrying. But you see this woman who is sitting there in prayer. Look, there's a peacock there. And I mean, this is definitely, it's Renaissance art from 1486. And there, of course, is the Madonna, the 15th century painting. Madonna del UFO is what they call it. But there's also these little things in the sky to the left of that tree, if you want to call it that branch, and the cows are looking on. And there we go. Here's another one. That's pretty amazing, isn't it? So, my darlings, it doesn't surprise me. And I'm going to tell you if you want to do the deep dive, because I used to be in the mindset, I'm in the paranormal. That doesn't include UFOs. Well, it does. And I'm kind of in this mindset now that anything that is unidentified, I know this is This is so off the rail for me, isn't it? It's just like totally off the rail. But the reality, my darlings, is that I think that it's pretty haughty. I think that it's pretty nonsensical. I'm talking in generalities. I think it's a little um, arrogant. May I say that? Yes, of course I may. I believe it's a little arrogant that we don't accept that there are creatures great and small, and that we are not the only ones that have been created. While I don't believe in, here, I'm going to blow your mind. While I don't believe in soulmates and twin flames and all that stuff, I believe in parallel universe. I believe in Mandela effect. I believe that there is a possibility that we could have a twin of us. Have you ever seen Sliding Doors with Gwyneth Paltrow? I believe that we have a choice. And I believe that we can actually quantum leap, because the mind is that, I believe the mind is that fantastic. You know, I was doing a little bit of research a long time ago. That it's an old movie. It's an old movie, Madeline. It's Sliding Doors. It's how you can live. A long time ago, I'm going to tell you this. Yeah, another thing that's going to blow your mind, but I have an explanation for it. I do not believe in reincarnation at all. And it's because the word teaches against it and says that we are not here but to die once, and that's it. There's no do-overs. There's no anything. However, I do believe, because there are some who have experienced this, I believe in time travel. I believe that that being alive in this time, you could possibly leap from one life to another. You can do the quantum leaping and visit, almost like a time travel. And that's what I believe in. Now, I'm going to be a snob. Okay, here's a snob. Because I get this constantly, and I kind of feel bad. I believe that reincarnation can be a trap, yes. Because when I was really starting into this, and all these books were coming out, and I was told that I was gonna go to the hot place because I listened to Enya. Back in the day, I'm gonna take you from there to here, and I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. Back in the day, when I first started out on this journey, because I was very sheltered. I was a card reader. I was from the farm. I did not know how to get. You just don't know. You just don't know how to get education when in this field, because back in my time, you couldn't ask. If you went into Barnes and Noble or any bookseller, there was a small section. Deja vu, yes. And I have that often, by the way. I'm going to try not look at the chat. So if you want me to answer something, you may want to hold. So, okay. So if you went to go to this bookseller, you'd have to go into the back of the store and the booth in the back in the corner in the dark, basically. And it was called New Age. But you almost had to sneak back there, because if anybody was around and they saw you back there, it was like, oh my God, shuffle the children out. Yeah, and seriously, I had that happen quite often, where I would be standing there because, first of all, I'm not going to buy a book if I don't go into a bookseller and I don't, I look at it and I think, oh God, nah. I'm not just going to take it off the shelf and say, oh, here, this is my message, blah, 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 and then go home and say, oh, fluff. So when I found that, because I am like a little sponge. I'm seriously like this little sponge. And by the way, I want to take a time out. Go get a drink. Go to the water closet. Do whatever you need to do. We're 47 minutes in. We've got a little bit to go. And I've got to do something. And that is Maeve, 1850. You darling. Maeve 1850 sent me a couple of gifts and a little note, which I'm going to tell you, I adore you guys for sending me these things. The man behind the curtain, that's right. Thank you, Lady Zelda. You really made me feel so much better. Love you. Enjoy your gift. Blessings, Maeve 1850. Intermission. I need an intermission thing. Thank you, Mitchell. My son has one. Why don't I? Intermission. Every time I say intermission, I think of intermezzo. All right, look at this. Now I have these, and I love them, but I have so much stuff. Look at this. 2, count them, 2 of these beautiful. I'm going to put this one down. But they are the room, and they're sturdy, right? Oh, I'm sorry if that made a lot of noise. Pardon me. But look at the pockets. I'm a pocket girl. Pocket, 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 pocket. You should see my other one that someone blessed me with. I've got extra pockets. I've got extra this. I've got extra. I've got it, my journals in it. I've got all this other stuff. I've got hello. And listen, I don't want to be greedy, but hey, there she is. My Maeve, my darling. There you go. I look at that historian. Bless you. And that name just resonates with me. Thank you so much, my darling. Thank you. As they say, live long and prosper. So I have this one, and then I have a black one. Someone came in last night and said, well, you wear black all the time. And I thought about it, because on here I do. I wear a lot of dark colors, a lot of black, because I want the concentration to be on what we're talking about, not my outfit. Now, when I'm here by myself, I'll wear a white t-shirt, I'll do whatever, blah, blah, blah. I actually wore navy blue tonight. Hello. That says Key West. Go figure. Zelda is look out. I'm getting wild. Psychic going wild. Okay. So thank you. I did not want to forget you. Bless you. And I do keep every one of your gift notes, and I pray over them. Blessings to be returned. Thank you. Thank you. Back to your regular scheduled programming. All right. The fingerless gloves, my darlings. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Emma. You are a darling. The fingerless gloves that I have, I got like 8 sets on Amazon for something like $9 or something. I do need 2 of them. I mean, I need more because these are starting to fall apart, and I have gingerly repaired them. I've had them for like 2 or 3 years, but I'm starting to wear them now because my hands are showing signs that I've had some people, you know how people are. Let's not pay attention to what Zelda has to say. Let's pay attention to the knot on her hand. And that's okay. It happens. I'm older, and that's the way it is. Thank God it's my left hand. But yes, I can have it removed. Look at this. It's just a part of age. I'm not going to because I'm a wiener. I don't want anybody operating on my hands. I'll wear the fingerless gloves. I like the way they are. Thank you very much. But I need some new colors. So, to heck with the trolls. I don't really care. To me, you know what I want to the trolls out there? Get a job. Get a job. And when you get a job and you get off your crack and you stop watching all this every day and you want to have such a blatant opinion, maybe when you go to work, you'll be so distracted and so tired that you won't have the wherewithal to come and try to hurt people. You don't hurt me. I don't care. Okay. All right. Hold on. We are a no troll zone. Well, thank you, Heather. Thank you. I believe in mermaids too, and there is a pier. We'll get into that. We'll get into that one of these days. About a pier. Now I got sidetracked because I do want to say it's a pier. I can't remember the pier. Is it in Chicago? But there are some dangerous little sea creatures. So, oh, Caroline, really? Oh, I'm going to try that. I'll try the castor oil. I will try. Thank you. Thank you. Because I think it's just some calcium. Because I use my hands a lot. Because I don't want to get, I'm always doing, when I was never a majorette, but I had friends that were, and we would go through and do all their finger exercises. And to this day, I do the finger exercises because I don't want my hands to look, you gotta keep the digits going. You gotta keep the digits going. All right. Great. Thank you so much. Castor oil is your best friend forever. Thank you. That's funny. All right. Back to the UFO. Back to life. Back to reality. So, when I started evolving is when I got married to the lieutenant commander. It's kind of like, how you gonna keep them down on the farm after they seen Perry? That's exactly how I felt. I was able to go to the bookstores. I was able to go to this, and I was able to do this, and I was able to go to that. And I do use it on my eyes. So I will start on this. Thank you. So then I started learning, and we moved to Virginia Beach, and I started studying at the Edgar Cayce Foundation. He went out to sea, and I thought, I don't have anything better to do. I'm going to go to the ARE, which is the Edgar Cayce Foundation. And there were some things there that, because he was not alive, and it was his son that took over, the only thing that I loved was their bookstore. And it used to be a long time ago that you could use online. You sign up, they would send you a book. You kept it for as long as you needed, but then you had to return it. So I studied there for a long time, and I started learning a lot of things about because I've always been a Christian, but there were some things that just didn't map out because I guess there's a part of you can say there's a part of me that is the scientific Christian because I love it when you read things in the word, as in, remember when Samson and Delilah and Samson at the end when he was in the Colosseum and he pushed those two columns apart that held up the Colosseum and everybody got out and blah blah blah. That was the story. Well, there is a place that they have found that these two columns have left marks that have been there for centuries that were pushed away, and they did a lot of finding out, and then hello, they found out that that's where Samson was. To me, that I dig that kind of thing. Give it to me. So I started getting into this now. This is also the time when there were a lot of books, like Louise Hay's was huge, popular. A lot of other things were, I was getting into meditation. I had my my spiritual board of directors. I would go into my boardroom. And seriously, things were just really started happening and going on very, very well. And so then I started writing things down, journaling, going for this, doing that. My husband was out to sea for 9 months. So I was working on the psychic line and doing nothing but research constantly, all day, craving to go to a school, and there was none. Craving, and then I found one that was equivalent to an online school in California. And I enrolled. My husband didn't want me to. I didn't care. He was out for 9 months. I did what I needed to do for me. I learned so much. But remember, this was also a time when there was a woman, I can't even remember her name now, and I bought the book. And when I read it, it made me almost feel ill. And it was about worshiping your angels, how angels can come in. Who is your angel? What is their name? Worshiping your angel. And my studying was definitely the warning. I believe it's in the book of Revelation. You better not be worshiping angels. Worshiping angels means you're depending upon the angel to make things happen for you instead of God. Now, angels in the Bible says angels have the face of God. What does that mean? Well, not only are we made, because in the book of Genesis it talks about being made in our image. I don't know if you've ever heard of that or thought of that. But who is our? God and the angels. Because the angels have not been human born. So if you want to know what we look like God and the angels, and all angels don't have wings. So this book, and why do they have the face of angels? Like angel have the face of God? Well, because we do have guardian angels. And if we could see the angels that kind of just sit around, I believe that our animals do, we would be blown away because they walk among us. They guide us. I can't tell you how many times that I probably was going to be either hit by a car, unalived, in a bad situation, in this, in that, blah, blah, and I've always come out. And sometimes if we get in real trouble, our angel having the face of God, that angel can go immediately and get that permission, because angels do not have permission to interfere with us. They don't. So this was a book that horrified me in some ways. And I read it and I literally prayed, what am I going to do with this book? Because I can't have this. And it was like this mainstream thing, and the people that would call me, because then came the, oh well, the soulmate and the twin flame and the this and the that, and you know the reality of all that, it sells books. That's what it does. It's the equivalent back then to clickbait now. It's clickbait. And people who figure that out, or that they write these things, don't realize that there's a responsibility in this. That anything that we say, we have responsibility. We will be held accountable. That's why in the book of Revelation it says, in the great day of the white throne of judgment, it is the leaders, meaning the pastors, the rabbis, the preachers, the priests, that will go through judgment first. Because if they're misleading people into believing certain false doctrine, look out. Now, back to all this. So I came through this time period, I guess, of not knowing. I mean, I had a complete blank slate. All I knew was this. All I knew is that I had some type of an ability, and my grandmother made me promise two things. Number one, I would not use it for my own benefit, meaning take advantage of or use it for me to, okay, what are the lottery numbers today so I can win billions and gazillions? Because there's a certain responsibility that goes along with it. And yes, you should pay a psychic. Yes, because we complete a service. That's how it happens. But the other thing is that personally, I don't read for myself. I know many people do, and it comes out, but I don't read for myself. Pardon me. Now, I read for my son, and in that, I see that sometimes I show up, which is the weirdest thing in the whole world. If you're reading for someone and then someone else then I show up in someone else's reading, that kind of is a little bizarre for me when I'm reading and then I show up and and that happens with him, not often, but sometimes. So it becomes this thing where you're really not supposed to abuse that ability. So when I started studying, and then I was, yes, I do, Captain. Denise, my darling, that is a whole other story. One, I will tell you. How does family, friends react to my abilities? I am shunned by some family, made fun of by other family members. My son and I are close, and that's it. That's it. So my grandmother was the one who, and my mom was not a reader, but when my mother became grave and terminally ill, she went on the very religious side of the boat. And it was okay. I mean, there wasn't anything, didn't offend me or anything like that. It didn't hurt me at all. I was glad. She wanted to make sure that everything was right before she proceeded on, and okay, that worked for her. But, and thank you, Denise. She says, "That's terrible. I'm sorry about that." I'm going to put the comments up on the screen here. I kind of like that. Don't you? I kind of do. Let me see here. Last night it was showing. Oh, there we are. I'm going to make these. Should I make them wide? What do you guys, font medium, so that way you can see them. I'll make it tall. There, I like that. Okay. Let me know if you like it on the screen, because I know many of you watch on the screen. And then I can see them too without having to. So I went down a different pathway than many people did. And I think that's why I'm not woo, oh, I can't go out because, woo, woo, woo. And I call it the woo woo, but it's okay. I mean, to each his own. Everybody has their own pathway. So that's why I didn't fall into that, oh, you have a soulmate. Because all souls are mates. We are all mates. Hi, my darlings. Come on in. Don't forget to give me a bump, okay? All souls are mates. I read for a lady today, and it was so painful that she was in love with this man, and she just would give up anything for him. But he was in another relationship. The reality is, she felt he was her person. He was her twin flame, her godsend, her this. And I said, does he think that way too? Oh, I don't know. I think he's mine, but I don't know how he... Well, here's the rub. If you feel that you have your person, and that happens, there's nothing wrong with you. You will have that person. But if you feel that you have that person and the other person is not aware that they're your person, 9 times out of 10, there's going to be something wrong, or there's something wrong. And many of us women claim that, praying that we will be that one person, that one woman that changes that man's mind about life and living in general. And when it doesn't happen, it's devastating. And I would see this so many times, and the training of these professional, credentialed people that would come into this part about, oh my gosh, this is so, this is, I'm so woo woo, I'm in so much love. And thank you so much, my darling, for the gift. I appreciate you. I'll read it in a little bit. That I felt like I was lost in space. Seriously, I felt like I was lost in space. And then I started digging into, because I started visiting these old libraries. Digging in, I would go to the reference librarian and say, what is the oldest book you have here? Do you have an old book on, because you call it religion, belief, theology, Christianity, however you want to say it. But you, Mitchell is a funny boy. Anyway, I would delve into this and read and read and read. And that's when I found out that the rapture theory didn't come into our churches, ourselves, until the turn of the last century. And it was by a woman who was a little on the touch side, who definitely needed some mental health. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way, but I guess I did. Too late. And I figured, you know what? if this type of theory could impact the masses, what else is there? And that is the questions that always drive me. That's why I wanted to start out tonight with that unidentified little craft that came about, and I started looking into other religions, as in Jehovah's Witnesses, because I had a good friend who was a Jehovah's Witness. We worked at a law firm together. I was a paralegal, and I was a paralegal for the United States Navy in Charleston Base, the JAG office. And we were buddies in the office, and we started going to each other's house. Of course, my husband was out to sea. When wasn't he out to sea? And it was her little boy's birthday. Well, I was supposed to watch him. I just, she would have to go to work, and I'd say, well, I watch him. It's okay. And it was his birthday. And we were singing happy birthday. He was so happy. They had a little girl. She had a little girl. She was divorced. She had a little girl. And when she came in, when she came in the house, the little girl goes up to my friend and says, Mommy, Mommy, Zelda's been singing happy birthday to him and all. And her face was horrified. She said, oh, you can't do that. That's a sin. What? Singing happy birthday is a sin. Because we aren't, and I'm like, well, I didn't mean to do anything. I didn't know. You didn't tell me. Why would you not tell me? You told me it was his birthday. Yeah, but we're brand new, and we just don't. And I'm like, are you sure? Are you sure this is right? So I got my Bible and I said, look, it talks about here the feasts of your day. That basically says, and it talks about different get-togethers in the Bible, the feasts of your day. And the day is their birthday. So I started digging, and I found out that the founder of and now, so if anybody is this out there, I am sorry, but I'm going to say what is factually true, that the founder, his name is Russell, of the Jehovah's Witness organization, I'm going to call it that, had an innate fear of hell, frightened to death of hell. So he decided one day, that he was going to make this belief that there was no hell. But in order to get to that, you had to do this and this, and you had to give up this and this, and all of the income from your family had to go to this organization. So that, of course, now I'm to the age I wouldn't mind forgetting my birthdays, but I knew, and I guess that's what took me from, that's where I split the path. I was in Charleston, South Carolina, and that's where I split the path. I decided that I was not going to fall in and conform and be that woo-woo, oh, this one says that I have to do this, and this one says that there are soulmates, and that we are this, and that we are that, and that this and this. Instead, I wanted to go down the factual path as much as I could. And I decided to go into theology studies, and I wanted to go into paranormal at the same time, which that sounds like it is like, hello, Zelda, hello? Are you out of your complete gourd? Yeah. And I have learned so much by saying, I want to learn about this. Just like, as an example, Julius Caesar. I think let me make sure there's so many Caesars because Caesar is the name. Um, Caesar is the um, Julius Caesar. That's correct. That was documented. Julius Caesar in the year 44 BC, approximately 100 years before Christ, March 15th. Why is that so important? March 15th is my birthday. And I started hearing about beware because when I was younger, like smaller, people would come up and they'd say, "When's your birthday, Zelda?" "Oh, March 15th." And the first thing they'd say to me is, "Oh, beware the Ides of March." I thought, that's the oddest thing that in the heck in the what? So then I thought, well, there's got to be something to it. The Ides of March. And then I found out that Julius Caesar, in the year 44 BC, March 15th, he had a seer. And he was called a seer. I've got to get his name because it's very hard to pronounce. Let me find out what his name. Because I like to give you guys facts. His name was Spurina, Spurina. The rest of it I cannot pronounce. But I'm going to tell you what he did and how he was a seer. The way he read was no way that I would read. He read animal entrails. You know what that is? It's the inside. It's the insides of an animal. That there were certain ways that they would lay out and blah, blah, blah. So he told Julius Caesar, because Caesar was going to go see his buddies in the Senate, "You better not go. Beware the Ides of March." And his wife had a dream. And she dreamt that he went. And I have to spare you the parts are parts. That's pretty much it. She begged him not to go. And I can't tell you the graphic dream that she had, but imagine it was horrible. And she begged Julius Caesar not to go. She begged him. Spurina told him, "If you go, you will not return. You need to be mindful of this." Well, he went, and his friends betrayed him and unalived him. And that was the end of Julius Caesar, and that's where that came about. Now, what does Zelda do? Look. Oh, Ruby, my darling. So what does all this do, my darling? That's right. So what, first of all, I want you to know that the Ides are with any month. We will have an Ides of November very soon. The Ides means the middle, but it only was the Ides of March. And when I grew up, when I did such a deep study on Julius Caesar, well, the first thing, you see what I do? Here, look. Was Julius Caesar in the Bible? No, because he lived approximately 100 years before Christ. Is it mentioned in the Bible? No, only Augustus Caesar. So anytime you come to this stuff, that for me it's all fascinating, because there we are in the 15th century when things like this can definitely be considered to be not so legal. There you have a man who is warned by a seer, no matter how he did it, ooh, and his wife has a dream. So there's got to be something there. And that's why I say to the naysayers, when they want to attack me and say, oh, well, you're not doing God's work and you're not doing it. First of all, I've never told anyone to do anything negative, period. And you know me, I always mention God. You know me. But I do things to make people stop and think, and that is, well, have you ever put birthday candles on a birthday cake? Do you celebrate Easter? Do you play cards? Because if you do, the tarot cards came from the playing card deck. Look out. And they were meant for games, but then divination came out. So I started really with these things. That is where my brain took me. Because you know what? I wasn't getting anywhere with the angel gig. Okay, angels exist. They look like us now. A lot don't have wings. There are different types of angels. But there's more to this world, our lives, than meets the eye. And I just think that for my own, I mean, one day I'm going to leave this earth, and it might be all for naught, but it's certainly keeping me occupied. And there's a little bit of the Bible that basically says, study to show yourself approved. Approved for what? Approved to be able to speak about it. Approved to be able to live like it. And in James chapter 4, verse 8, I think is what it is, or James chapter 8, verse 4. One of them. I'm inverting them. Hello, send me to the Sally port. It says, the closer that you get to God, the closer he'll get to you. And that is a reality to me. That makes a lot of sense. So I did this little shift. And I did the shift into, what about parallel universe? What about time travel? I believe in time travel way more than I do reincarnation. I'm going to tell you what happened to me one time. So, our minds, now there is a part in some biblical writings that describes the mind. MIT took this biblical writing and they decided that they were going to build a replica of what this biblical mind, this biblical idea of what the mind would be. It's my recollection that they said that if they built, they stopped, because they said if they built the capacity and the replica of what our mind would be, it would be larger than the state of Texas and 18 stories high. Now think about that. That is the capacity that we have in our minds. The brain, let's break it down. The brain is the blob that houses our mind. And it is a mystery still to this day. Of course, all the nerves and everything else, but the brain is a mystery. It's amazing how that is. So I started going down that, I want to know. I just want to know. I want to know this. I want to know that. Why, why, why? And for those of you who are out there and you want to know, because I see many people ask me, how do I open up that spiritual realm? You have to study. You just can't walk in a room one day and say, "Oh, I want to be spiritual. Thanks." That can happen. I'm not saying that it can't, but you have to study. What do you have to study? You have to study the correct right path. And how do you do that? You pray about it and not pray in a way, well, Lord, I really want to be this spiritual person. And you know, I just really, I really like this and I want you to allow me. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You're not going to get an answer. Sometimes no answer is your answer. So it's all about studying. It's just all about studying. And there are parts of my childhood that I had to let go. And there are parts of events that happened to me 10, 15, and 20 years ago that I've had to let go. Why? Well, it wasn't serving me. It serves no purpose. To harbor and hold all that negative, carry the weight of all this on my shoulders, to harbor and to hold it like that I'm claiming that, oh, I'm that way because of. I don't want to be that way because of. I want to be that way because of this, not that. Anchor the past behind you, number one. And you seriously will catapult your life into realms that you'll never, ever imagine that you could be. That is how I've been able to write these ebooks and how I've been able to do this numerology. And yes, use bits of forensic astrology and numerology and do this because when I figured out that it was energy that led me to missing people and some missing children, that mind blown. Because most people think, oh, well, their spirit is still roaming. No. The spirit doesn't immediately goes. You can see that in the book of Ecclesiastes. When we leave this meat suit, when this silver cord breaks, we immediately go to our Father, the Creator. And at that point, we are awaiting for the great white throne of judgment. But their energy is still looping behind here. Because sometimes energy cannot be destroyed. It just moves on. But just like with John O'Keefe, his energy is really here. So is Dan Markell. So is Anna Walsh. So is Sandra Birchmore. So is Enrique. So, think about this. Their energy and if you can't fathom that, think of it as a photograph. Think of it as a photograph. We have a photograph of what and how this energy is. And many of you, I see this. Listen, when I read cards, I'm not accurate all the time. I'm not. And I would be ridiculous if I thought that I would be, right? That's not right. But I'm going to say, so is Charlie Kirk. Thank you, Sam. That his energy is big right now because his energy is getting fueled. You see, that's why in some of these haunted houses, have you ever thought, well, gee whiz, the Amityville horror, why does stuff stay in a house? It's because that's where it happened. And that's where it can be fueled. Same thing with Chris Watts' house in Colorado. The same thing with some of these other homes. You go and you're going to do this house haunting and everything else. It's not, there's no binding there. It's a familiarity. And the house, there, it's all an energy feed. It just literally does this. It's a frequency. It's a vibration. Okay? Sometimes you just got to say, you got to set it free, but we fuel that. And by visiting these different haunted locations, it just fuels it. You give them energy. Boom, boom, boom. When people go that's right, Dee. When people go ghost hunting, it fuels the energy. How do I know that? Many times I take several phones with me when I go. And the reason being, or devices rather, and some of the phones or some of the devices that I have are old phones that I've used in the past that I've just wiped, and I have my apps on them. So that way my real phone isn't diving from the energy, but it takes energy to make energy in some way. So it gets stronger. And that's why you see when these people go out, the paranormal investigators go out. We never used to call it paranormal investigating. We just called it ghost hunting. We can go out and look for ghosts. Things have evolved a lot. And that's why when you hear, oh my gosh, my batteries are dying. My batteries are, draining. They're draining. It's because it takes that energy for whatever it is that wants to materialize over here. It's an energy feed. Think of it as a lamp. Your lamp is sitting there. Hello, lamp. What are you going to do for me today? You're not shining. Oh, you need to be plugged in. Okay, I'm going to plug you in. Wait a minute, lamp. You're still not doing anything. You're plugged into the energy. Oh, wait. I have to turn you on. And that's the way you have to think about it. You have to think, oh, while I'm here, I'll get a drink. Thank you. So when you're thinking of all these things, like UFOs, I'm going to tell you something. When I was in Gettysburg a few years ago, that was so ripe with all this dread, energy, anxiety that you can feel. And it sometimes will stay in the ground because the ground vibrates, the earth vibrates on certain, there's frequency that all of this energy vibrates on. And what you have to remember, my darlings, is that there's so much more to this than meets the eye. That if you find something that you are really interested in, just like this Renaissance art, start digging in. Find out who painted it, when, why, how, where, what did they experience? Why did they paint that? Were they actually there, or was this a story that they heard? Obviously, they're not just there. Because how would you paint the Madonna? So someone had to tell this story. And at that time, it was something that was known. It was every day. It wasn't something that was like, oh my God, there's, for this to be involved or talked about in the book of Ezekiel is way funny. Way, way funny. It's amazing. And that's why, okay, I'm going to tell you this story first, and then I'm going to tell you something else. And I'm the one who said, oh, I'm not going to do a long stream tonight. Liar, liar, pants on fire, Zelda. Okay, so I was at a psychic show at the Peabody Hotel in Orlando, Florida. I got such a kick out of that. 2 stories that came from there. The Peabody hotel has ducks. They have ducks run around the hotel. They have these little waterways in the hotel. It's the most adorable thing in the whole world, and it just brings this sense of calm. We had a psychic fair. So the first story is at that time I was studying Egyptology. You know, that whole reign of Egypt only lasted about 500 years, which is not a long time for a civilization before it started going into different areas. But I was really into that, and it was because of Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, uh, what's her name, Cleopatra, all this other stuff. We were walking down because I was teaching there, doing card readings. I was not doing tarot. I was doing card readings. And love you back, my darling. And they had a full-length mirror there. And I went, and at that time I was 1980s girl, short hair, huge earrings, hello, bright colors, and I painted, if you can believe this, I went to the thrift stores, got old jeans jackets, and I put the pearls on the collar, put the pearls on the cuff, lace, and I painted the zodiac signs on the back of the jackets. So, like for mine, Pisces, I had two fish, and I put lace, and they were beautiful. Put lace on the pockets, and the idea that they were worn, you know, that was kind of an 80s thing. So I was wearing this around, you know, whatever, and was selling out and pre-selling to some stores to the point where I couldn't keep up with it. I bedazzled my jacket. That's right, Captain. So I'm walking through this hallway because they had all these, like a craft fair, only they were tables for everything you could think of, beads and astrology and books and card readers and you name it. Well, they had this tall mirror, and I was with some other people, and I walked through, and I walked through, and all of a sudden I took a look to my right, and I didn't see me. I saw an Egyptian woman. An Egyptian woman. It was me. And it stunned me so much. I thought, oh my God, why am I seeing this? And I backed up a little bit, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw her. Now, was it me? Thank you so much, Saggy Beach. Thank you. Was it me or was it her? I'll have the answer to that in a minute. So then I was kind of like flipped out a little bit, and I was one of the keynote speakers in one of this, you know, they had these auditorium rooms where you went in, and I was going to talk about cartomancy and blah, blah, blah. So before my segment, there was a person that got up and was speaking about reincarnation. And I thought, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I want to hear about this. So this person started talking about how you know you've been reincarnated and how you do this and how you do that and blah, blah, blah. Well, she's made the mistake of saying, would you like to tell me who you feel that you have reincarnated as? So the hands went up. I'm thinking, oh, this is good. We're going to get a history lesson here. Because you know me, I'm like wide-eyed and sponge, give it to me. Let's hear. So this one chick raises her hand. She said, yes, I was Cleopatra. Oh, here we go. It's always let me, you know, yes, I was Cleopatra. We even had a Count Dracul, which was Dracula, Vlad the Impaler in the room. I was careful. So, but there, and you could tell these other women, they were like, and all of a sudden, she's standing there talking about, oh, right here. Oh, here we go. I'm thinking here, I'm looking and I'm seeing these women. I'm thinking, oh my goodness, we're gonna have a WWE here. So she's like, ah, yes, I was Cleopatra and I was this and I was that. And another one raises her hand. She said, there's absolutely no way that you could have been because I was. I knew my brother. I knew this and I knew that. And I could tell you where this was and I could tell you where that was. Another one stands up. You both are wrong. I was Cleopatra. And we're all of us are mortified who are watching and listening to this because remember, this is the new age of peace, right? Hello? This is the new age of peace and this is the new age of blah blah. All of a sudden, somebody else stands up. You can't, you guys are all wrong. You're full of, and then the names. You're full of wah, 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 blanky, blank, blank, blank. And I grabbed my handbag because I thought, hey, if we get into a brawl, I want to get I'm not going to get into this. So they settled everybody down and they were all heated and huffing. So this girl knew that she had caused this and she was getting ready to cut and run. She wanted to be out of there and they looked at me and, gave me the high sign. So I got up there and somebody started asking me questions. And then the fateful question, Zelda, may I please ask you a question? It might be personal. Of course. Do you believe in reincarnation? And I said, no. And they were all, you could hear the whole room deflated of air because they all went, because the first thing you think of is, oh, well, she's a psychic, she's a seer. She's got to believe in the norm of what everybody believes. And they're like, you don't? Oh my God, that's horrible. Why? And I said, this is why. This is why. First of all, can't you pick another person other than Cleopatra? Let me tell you a little bit about Cleopatra. Cleopatra was 4 feet 11 and weighed 156 pounds. Little portly there. She slept with her brother and her father. She played with venomous snakes to learn how to unalive her slaves because she was a product of, I can't say the I word and don't say it in the chat, but she was a product of, a brother and a sister getting together and having a child. She was that type of, she was a thick chick. She was that type. So there was some insanity going on there. She was obsessed with knowing how to unalive herself because from the day that she could figure that out, she wanted to. So I told her, this is not a Cleopatra movie. This is not Elizabeth Taylor movie. This is a segment in history that they should not be proud of. She wreaked havoc on the Egyptian government and the people and enslaved them to the point where they were dropped. She would not feed them. It was horrible. So if you want to fight and be so proud to have that type of an incarnation, forget it. I'm off the books. No way. And you should have seen these people. I said, you would think that you would do a little bit of research about the person that you were supposed to reincarnate as. instead of perhaps just wanting to claim that because you saw Elizabeth Taylor and even Claudette Colbert in the day, who, by the way, played Cleopatra topless and was a Hollywood, flipped everybody out, but she did it. So that did not go down very well. And I can tell you, those people that arranged this whole thing were so unhappy with what was going down. And it stirred the pot so much that when I was standing there talking about cards, I finally said, look, okay, I can tell you guys don't want to pay attention. And quite frankly, I'm wasting my time standing up here and talking to you. So I wish you all a good day. And I hope all of you Cleopatras find what you're looking for. And I said, maybe I need to have a conversation with Vlad the Impaler in the back of the room. It seems he knows exactly what's up. And that guy started laughing. So I just got my cards and I left. And of course I was not invited back. Oh well. So I was talking about Cleopatra, if you missed that. Cleopatra was 4'11" and weighed 156 pounds. She was a little teapot, short and stout, right? So that right there made me wonder. I was telling Jake from State Farm, what are you wearing? Jake, what are you wearing? There you go, Sherry. Hi. Hello, Deborah. Thank you so much for being here. Yes, we were talking. Yeah, you missed the whole Cleopatra gig. But that's okay. You can catch up. That's when I decided, my darlings, because now listen, I do know that there have been children that are reminded of this sort of thing. Hi, Rita. That have these type of recollections. And sometimes I'm just going to tell you, I think they just kind of sneak through the cracks in some regard. But for me, the reason that I feel that I saw the Egyptian when I walked past the mirror is because I was diving so deep into, thank you, Berkeley. I was diving so deep into the Egyptian lifestyle, realm, details, that sometimes thank you, Maeve. I totally walk like an Egyptian. That's right. Sometimes I believe that our subconscious, even when we are born, harbors information. Remember, our minds, not our brain, our minds are larger than the state of Texas and 18 stories high. That's a lot of brain. We're going to hold, do you know, seriously, my darlings, that we only use about 3% of our mind? 3% of our mind power. That's it. 3%. Nothing more. And when I heard that, because in the laws of attraction, I have learned that percentage of the brain that we only use. One of these days I will talk to you about Nefertiti. She was the big chick. She was the big chick and was really connected versus Miss Cleo. I will. One of these days I will. We'll talk about the Egyptian reign of that time. It's pretty cool. Yeah, because and see, I believe that. I believe that as here's what happens, my darlings. We went from being a very educated society and humans worldwide, humans, and yet, oh yeah, Steve Martin, da da da, got a condo made of stone, a king tut, right? I gotcha, I know it. We have we've been dumbed down. Sorry. I want you to think about this. We have made more history in the last 200 years. Think about this. The Civil War, what, 200 years ago? Maybe 250 years? Not 250 years. Maybe, maybe. But we have been, oh, sorry, here, I did this. Duh. But we, my darlings, have. Somebody said they sent a Cash App. I have not received one yet, but sometimes that doesn't matter. 1865. So yeah, if you want to do the math, think think about what has happened between the Civil War, the Revolutionary War, Civil War, the World War One, World War Two, the Korean War, Vietnam, Desert Storm. Think of all this technology that has been brought with us. Let's just say this. All this all of this technology that we have right now is not helpful. It's not. We are programmed to think that it's helpful. Oh yeah, we have our refrigerators are now on AI that can talk to us and say, "Hey, you're out of I think that might be let me check the Cash App. I'm not sure. That's not I would not have any way of knowing that it's coming through. Oh yes, I got it. Okay. Mrs. Marie said yes. Got it. Thank you so much, my darlings. Thank you, thank you. Why the heck do we need a refrigerator to tell us that our milk is going bad? Do we not have enough wherewithal within ourselves to just get up off the crack and go and look in our refrigerator? So while all this technology is really helpful, it's dumbing us down to the point where we can't think. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about it because this is something, I mean, it's here to stay. AI is here to, do I use AI? Yes, yes, and hello. I do, because I'm not going to be left behind. But here's the thing. Look how, you can look at it this way. Look at Proctor. Trooper Pooper Proctor. Look at that technology. He thought he could beat it. He thought he wasn't thinking about the cloud. I don't put anything. I don't have an iPhone because I won't do it. I won't put anything on a cloud. Not that I'm doing anything wrong, but why the heck do I want my so that anybody that wanted to dig could go and get it? Now, was he wrong? Absolutely, yes, absolutely. You like that, Mitchell? Get up off your crack? Well, I'm going to tell you what. You guys want to know something? Do you know why your crack goes this way and not this way? Do you know what that is? You know why we're built in the backside to have it go up and down and not this way? Because if we ever slid down a banister, we would go beep, 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 beep. Do you like that? Anyway, that's why you got to keep your mind alive. That's why you got to keep up with things. That's why you've got, because you know what? This technology can help us or can be the death of us. Did you guys like that little joke? I'm so glad. See, I'm full of it, one way or another. If you're ever with me, I'm going to tell you something. Pardon me. I am a funny chick. I'm funny, as in, I love to laugh. Why not? Why not? Hold on. Look how that is going on my green screen. The Dew of the Mountains, I'm finishing the one that I had yesterday. So that's where we are, my darlings. That's why I love to bring you these types of subjects. And that's why I love to do Manifestation Monday. Don't miss it, 7 p.m. Because you got to listen, there's nobody coming. I want you to know that. I finally had to realize that I have beautiful friends. I have beautiful, but when the rubber meets the road, there's nobody coming. And you have got to make sure that you got the brain power, that you can take care of yourself. And when I say nobody's coming, because sometimes when we're down and whatever, we have to depend upon ourselves. I can't tell you. I want to tell you, there was a time in my life where I prayed for identity theft. Seriously. It would have been a godsend for some to come along and just take my identity, and so I could just shapeshift and go in another direction. And I finally had to realize, that that I was the only one that could make or break. Thank you, niece. When you're down and out. Yeah, that's right. But seriously, that's when I realized, you know what? What a magnificent story. And that's how I want you guys to think about things. How we got from UFOs to here, I don't know, but it's been a journey, hasn't it? I want you to think about this. What a fantastic story. What a fantastic legacy to leave behind, to go from this to this. And who cares? That's what you have to really be thinking. I want you to know right now that if you are in a situationship, or a circumstance that is tough, oh, you'll get through it. You always do, because you're above the ground. You'll get through it. I promise you'll get through it. But here's how to go one step further, okay? The moment that you stop thinking that people need to think like you do, you will catapult right into, you'll go ahead of the line. You will catapult. The moment that you stop thinking, gee, if I were them, I would have done. Well, you're not, and you won't. And that was the talk that I had to have. Gee, I can't believe that this person is like, you better believe it, because they're like that to begin with, and it's nobody's fault but mine if I accept the way they are. See? So when you think about this, you have to think about, stop what you're doing and start thinking, I'm the one who's got the great story. I'm the one who is the survivor. I am the one who was homeless a few years ago and living under a bridge, and it took me a week to think, this is not my life. This is not my, I am not accepting it. This is not my life. And I started studying again because I stopped card reading for a while because a guy that I was dating didn't believe in it. Wah. And I put my life into theirs. Now, I'm going to be showing you a few things in the last few minutes of our thank you, my darlings. Listen, I don't mean to sound tough and sad. I want to encourage you because you've got more chutzpah deep down. All you have to do is just dig down and get it, girl, and get it, guy. That's all you got to do. Don't blame yourself. Forget it. God's not blaming you, so stop. That's right. Don't blame yourself. Now, in the last few days, and you know I love this, Jules, because you're right. John O'Keefe is do you remember my readings, obviously? John O'Keefe, remember how I said that he was haunting and that there are other energies that can step in? You're seeing that take place now. Hold on, we're going to show it. There we are. There's the little ice cream truck with Jen and Carrie standing on the sidewalk. Let's see it again. There they are. That's what's going to happen. Because you know why? Here we go. Here's another thing. Because Agent Obligada never left. They never left. Never, ever. Everybody's all like, well, they must have left. John's not going to give justice. I say bull. I say bull. John will have justice one way or another. We may not see it, but listen, I love this type of thing. Oh, I can't wait. Because the universe has this wonderful way of working things around that we will start seeing a lot of this stuff happen. And for this detective or agent or whatever heck good riddance, he is now suspended with pay. And you know it's got to be what they found on Proctor's phone. Just wait. You will start seeing a lot of retirements. You're going to start seeing a lot of other little goodies that happen. And then you're going to start seeing some more evidence of who unalived John O'Keefe. And then, thank you, Ms. Jules. You know what? Bless you. Bless you for that. And hold on. Let me go back here because we've got some little things that I need to be sharing with you. And then we'll go into segment 3. Enough for Cleo and UFOs. Wow, we really spun. Oh, look, there's 227 people that are watching. I love the numbers. Listen, I want you to remember this. Energy is how I read. Energy doesn't lie, it speaks. Energy speaks, it doesn't lie. Here we are, my darlings. New member. Hi, niece. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome, welcome. Miss Jules, you darling, look at this beautiful picture of this beautiful lady. Gifted 10 memberships. Thank you. Resisting Arrest has been a member for 9 months. Wow. We're just clicking it down, aren't we? Deborah, thank you for your generosity, my darling. I love your little profile picture. I love that. And here comes Miss Jules, hot again, top shelf. And I love it because she says she doesn't tip. She gives memberships. And I appreciate that so much. 10 more. 10 more. And then we have beautiful Sam gifted 5 Fate and Fortune True Oracle memberships. Hurrah, hurrah, de postista. All right, so there we go. And hold on, we've got Roxy D. Bell coming in hot. Thank you so much, darling. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. And yes, congratulations to all the new members. And bless you for being here. Thank you, thank you. What a beautiful profile picture. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. And I hope I didn't miss anybody, because if I did, you do have 20, actually. You do. That's right, Linda. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction law of physics. That's right. And the one thing I want you to remember, all this energy talk, all these card readings, all these EVPs, all this energy stuff, it is not woo-woo. It is physics. And if you want to learn how to open up spiritually, start studying physics. It's physics. You can't get away with it. How do I know that? Well, do you believe in the law of gravity? That's physics. We're living it every day. We don't have to get up and think, oh, shoost, I better make sure that my ankle is tethered to the post that is driven down into the center of the earth so I don't fly off into the cosmic unknown. No, we don't have to do that. And if you believe in that, there's so much more. There's so much more. Don't be sad. Be thankful that you are here. This is a new day. Today, you can start thinking, oh my gosh, you can start looking into these Renaissance art from 1486 about UFOs. I'm going to tell you something, you guys. Thank you. Charlie Kirk has a video and says exactly that. I love it. Thank you. And everybody's like, oh, Charlie Kirk, I've had these. Now listen, I've had these comments. Charlie Kirk wouldn't want tarot. That's against God. Listen, Charlie Kirk was having prophetic dreams right before he was unalived in front of the world. There's so much more, and we will get into it. Now is not the time, though. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Jules. You are adorable. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Thank you, Linda. Bless you, bless you. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you. Look at this, Gigi. Thank you, coming in hot. Bless you guys. You are so wonderful. Hi there, Kathy from Vermont. Welcome. Thank you for being here, honey. Hold on here. Hold on. God bless. Yes. It's what they're not telling us. I'm so glad you found me too, Gigi. Thank you, honey. The energy of Erica. Okay, I can say it here. If I had a man that was in the limelight and there was a woman who was supposedly, allegedly, sort of, kind of, maybe grieving her husband, that it's been not even 60 days, who was wearing leather pants and a t-shirt. I guess I'm old school. Leather pants and a t-shirt. And she didn't hug you, but she used I call it heiferology. Would you like to know about heiferology? She used a heifer move, and that was locking her hands in the hair of my husband and holding him close. I may have had to go up on that stage. That's all I'm going to say. No heiferology around me. No, we don't do heifer moves. Sorry. There we are. There we are. There we are. Okay. Hi there, Eric. Yes. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you a few little things that I think you'll feel very interested in these cards before I say goodbye to you tonight. I hope I've given you a lot of things to think about. In fact, for those of you coming in, this is what we're talking about tonight. Was the crash of an UAV or a UFO at the Area 51 site, and pretty much we're being told to believe a particular narrative. Okay. Okay. There you go, Leslie. You know, back in the 70s, they had an particular outfit that was called hot pants. Okay, Zelda, stop. Y'all know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the cards. First of all, be here Monday night because I'm going to tell you what's going to be happening in November. Tomorrow, I'm going to take off because beautiful Andrea from our community gifted me a carpet cleaner. When did I ever think in my life, there's 227 again, I'm going to have to do some numerology on 227, aren't I? Again. Actually, it was 227, I believe, in 40 seconds or 43 seconds. Something like that. I'm going to have to do that. Yeah, I saw that, Sherry D. I'm gonna be doing some things about Sandra. I'm gonna do that. Divine is not so divine. I'm gonna show you what that's all about. Cleaned up the US, built a road, then spread debris of car. Yep. They put dirt over everything else. It's so funny because they said that there was debris, that people were contaminating the site, and I just wonder, should we possibly go to and find out if Proctor was out there? I mean, because he's done that before. Okay, anyway. I will do, the FBI report was 227 pages, and she did testify at 227. Now, we did do a segment on that. It was a Saturday night segment on 227, but I need to update that, don't I? West Berlin and New Jersey in Aquarius. Bless you. When the moon is in the 7th house. I love it. This has been so great. I've learned. Oh, thank you, Miss Jules. Well, you've been so great too. Now I'm going to show you a few little things about the playing cards that I think that'll be very interesting to you. So, my darlings, well, Linda, bless you. I'm so glad you said this. All the things we've talked about tonight makes my mind really stop and think. That's what it's all about. We have to learn to start thinking for ourselves. Even in the midst of all this digital, hey, I use technology. What? Oh my God! I just sounded. Remember that Napoleon Dynamite? What was that little guy's name? He gets on the microphone. I love technology. Remember? Oh my heck! I'm him. Mitchell says UFO tail parts. That's right. Did Proctor go to Area 51? All right, so here I want to show you a few little things. I don't know if I have it in this particular deck. I don't. Let me get another card deck because you're going to want to see this. It's raw. You're going to want to see it. Sorry. I have a beautiful card deck. Pedro. No, it wasn't Pedro. Remember Pedro for president? It was the other dark-haired little guy that married the big woman. Remember? She was just falling in love. He met her online. Remember that? And I loved, who was it that would go, if you want a quesadilla, go on and make your own quesadilla. Oh my God. I loved that movie. Go make your own quesadilla. I do that too. I forgot my chopstick, dang it, right? No, this isn't the right deck of cards either. It wasn't Sonny Bono. Never had watched the movie Napoleon Dynamite. Listen, no, it wasn't Pedro. It was the brother. It was the dark. And listen, Uncle Rick. I'm sorry. I love Uncle Rick. May I please have a deck of cards that is, yes, I do have a deck of cards that I show this. It wasn't I know. Remember Pedro for president? Kip. It was Kip. Thank you, Liz. Kip and LaFonda. It was Kip. I love technology. I don't know where the kitties are tonight. Oh, I do. I'm going to tell you. On Saturday, I have a little routine. Saturday, I wash my assignment, Napoleon Dynamite, so you can laugh. On Saturdays, I wash my bed. I make my bed. I do my, hello, I do my thing. I wish I could just sit and go, but it doesn't get done. I've tried it. And it's a fresh bed, and cat TV is going like crazy in the other room. And last I saw them, they were all snuggled on the bed and watching cat TV. God bless them. I'm so glad they do. All right, my darlings, I'm going to tell you a few little things about. You all know that the playing cards came out first in China in about the 15th century. A long time ago. Zelda, I wasn't around then. But let me tell you about the Ace of Spades. You see this Ace of Spades? Now the Ace of Spades, you see that design in the middle. And this is here because it's the fire element. I'm trying to find the water element. I don't think they make them anymore. If anybody finds the water element bicycle clubs, and I've looked all over, let me know, because I only have the fire element. I found these at like Walgreens. Hello? And they were cheap, but very good cards. So I want to tell you about, yes, the forest mushroom drummer. So here is the Ace of Spades. There was a time in England that card playing was outlawed because they said it kept people from working and it kept them from paying their taxes to the king. So the king made card playing taxable. So in order to buy a deck, you had to have the Ace of Spades stamped. If you didn't have the Ace of Spades stamped with a particular stamp, so if the taxman came around and you were playing cards, then you got in trouble. And I'm going to tell you, you could be executed for not paying your taxes and having the particular stamp. So, here's the thing. What they started to do then is they discarded the Ace of Spades. That's why it's considered to be, number one, the death card, and equal to the death card and the tarot. That's where the saying came from, not playing with a full deck. So when you use that saying from now on, that's exactly right. Not playing with a full deck. And that's meant to be on, sometimes if somebody doesn't get it, or if they're, whatever, oh, she's not playing with a full deck. That's where that came from. Fast forward, obviously then years later, no longer taxed, everything was fine, all is good. Years later, during the Vietnam War, the Viet Cong were scared of this ace of spades. They felt that it was horrible. They thought it was uh, like spiritually equal to the devil. So Bicycle manufactured millions of Ace of Spades cards, and our troops worldwide, but our troops that were fighting the Viet Cong would put the Ace of Spade in their helmet, and it would scare the Viet Cong to the point where they would run off. In the playing cards, there are 4 suits equal to the 4 seasons. There are 52 cards in a deck equal to 52 weeks in a year. So you see how that moves on, right? You see how that is really coordinates with these things. 4 weeks in a month, 4 suits in a, I mean, there's so much correlation there. The kings were made from or designed after some kings. The King of Hearts is all about a very romantic man, but look at what he's doing. Look very closely. It is considered to be the S King. I'm not going to say it. Please don't put it in the chat. And it's because he is the only king that has done this. I've written all about the Cartomancy, the history, what you need to know about the Cartomancy deck, and it is in the Unaliving King. That's right. It is in the ebook that I have, and you can always find those ebooks right here in the QR code with the little duck head. Will take you over to the psychic shop, and you can learn all about the history, and you can learn how to read the cards tonight. I've got all the meanings on the cards. And by the way, it is not a bad thing. I use this deck for my own because I don't do videos with it, because you see, I used to give classes in Cartomancy, and I've written on a lot of these cards, like this one is written on. I don't do videos with those because it's distracting, but that's my teaching deck, and this is the one that I've used. I love these decks. I have 3 of them. They are the Medieval deck by Elephant Playing Card Company, and look at the jokers. Look at those griffins. Oh, and look who's coming to visit. It's the ma'am. It's the Sam Miami, which she has plenty of food, plenty of water. She just came by to collect her rent from me. Oh, and there's Honest Path in the chat as well. Look at him. Hello, Honest Path. How are you? This is your Mama Path. So there are a lot of videos about the Denver airport. When I was in the Denver, yes, she's here. Here she is, Sam Miami. When she was in, when I was in, not she, hello. When I was in the Denver airport, it scared me because it was, there's a weirdness there. Now, I wasn't in a big hurry to catch a flight. I was on a layover. And so that gave me time to just kind of think, there's some sus stuff. And sometimes it gets so empty. And I was on a late night gig, and there was hardly anyone there. And you know what I kept thinking? Oh my God, what if somebody comes around and kidnap me? They'll never find me. You know, going crazy. So Give me a second here, my darlings. Sam says, I bought the Cartomancy ebook. You have taught me so much. You explain everything so well. Thank you so much. And in that Cartomancy ebook, I'll give all kinds of different little, even personal stories about card reading and, all these other different things. So, yeah. So there you go. Green-eyed Southern girl. By the way, she sent me a picture of her grandmother, and she looks so much like Rita Hayworth. Gorgeous, gorgeous lady. Thanks for sending that to me. Because, I've got the Hollywood girls here, right? The Hollywood guys, the Hollywood girls. Hello. It's all about Hollywood, right? So there you go. Yes, lady, what do you think? You can show, I can show it? Okay, let me dig it out. Let me dig it out. Karen says, I've always said the universe is so vast that there had to be others out there besides us. Also that we might be the aliens. You never know. And I got to tell you this, and since my son is in the chat, he was young when the movie Signs, because you all know how I feel about Mel Gibson, my favorite patriot in the whole century. We went, it was me, my daughter, her husband, my granddaughter, Ian. We went to see Signs. The birthday party freaked me out. Every time it was on TV the other night, and I'm like, holy Jehoshaphat, I would be like, no, aim small, miss small. That's right. Go Captain Harris. I would be like that. What's his guy with the ball bat? Give me the ball bat, buddy. I would be swinging. I would show you what the second baseman could do. Hello. I would certainly do that. Let me show this beautiful picture. That beautiful there we are. Let me get this. Oh, hello. All right, hold on. I'm going to show you sorry, green-eyed Southern girl sent me this beautiful photo of her beautiful Gramir. And look at this. Hold on. Look at that beautiful lady. Look at that hair. Would you just want to be, I would like to live in the 40s for about a week. Just to go to the big band, right? Look how gorgeous she is. I just love it. Thank you so much for sending that to us. I just think that is so nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Kathy D says, I love when your kitties are there. I wish mine could cuddle like that. Well, she's one of these girls. She is beautiful. She's a stunning lady. And I can see where you get it because I see your picture, my darling. But this girl right here, Ian will tell you, I will be in my bedroom. I'll be sitting there. She'll come up to me. And if I make a move that she doesn't like, it's a soft paw, but it's smack, smack, smack. Like, Mom, get it together. She's a mean girl. Look at her, see? She rules the roost, but she's my mean girl. She's my mean girl. She lost a tooth last year. And I babied her. She, whatever. Well, come to find, then she lost the other front tooth. They kind of grew back. She's got some nubs, but let me tell you what. Teeth or no teeth, this girl, she handles Riley. And you saw, yes, I know, Mommy's angel. She handles Riley, and you saw how big Riley is. She means business, buddy. That's right. That's mommy's girl. That's right. Yes, Riley is about 20, 22, 23 pounds. He's a big boy. And so tender-hearted. Oh my gosh. So tender-hearted. Sorry, sister. Oh, you see this? That's another thing. This is a paper towel, and I have to, she lays with me in bed, and I have to put the paper towel on my bed because she then has to make a little nest and lay on the paper towel. They have me trained. Okay, hold on. Very unique cat. She does have a unique cat face. I don't know if she's a particular breed or not, but she does have a really some I don't know what she's looking at. They can tell the energies around. Okay. Hello, despise injustice, Deanna. Last night I woke to YouTube Doc 411 missing, and it's very interesting. Then tonight your topic regarding. Listen, my darling, stay tuned. Because last week I was invited to the Calling All Beings cab with DJ and Boston Bia. They know the 411 people, and they wanted me to come on, and I couldn't because I've been busy this week. But they're going to have that episode on again, and they're going to have a private detective on. I'm going to be on with them, and we're going to talk about some cases. That 411 channel, I think, is so interesting. And they talk about just people, how they just disappear, especially in the Appalachian Mountains. Be careful. Don't go to these places by yourself. I know people that just take off and go walking. Wrong. Wrong. And she sheds. I'm sorry, sister. And everybody's my sister and brother here. And mommy, I don't know what I am. Anyway, let me see. 7 p.m. Monday night, manifestation Monday. I hope I haven't confused you all. We started out with the UFO crash at area whatever, 51, 21, whatever. And we ended up, but here's the reality. I want you all to start leaving the past in the past and start digging in and getting excited about life. You should not have to wake up every day and be upset because life is, you know what? We make it our own. What was the girl, Sarah Connor in Terminator? I'll be back, Terminator. Fate is what you make it. We got to make our own fate. I'm going to do a complete other one, my darling, on the mermaids, because there's a particular pier, and I've got to remember what the pier is that has the dangerous mermaids, and the cops tell you don't walk out on that pier because they will lullaby you and sing you into, listen, I believe in that. I believe in that. I believe in that because there's anomalies. There are things that, oh my God, I sound like Zach. There are things in this world that we cannot understand. Understand. You know what I'm talking about, my darlings. You know what I'm talking about. New Jersey has some lovely, beautiful ladies. Yeah, there you go, my darling. Life is short. Love the people who we believe in, love you. That's right. The siren song. You got it. You got it. And what I want to do is bring use because I have some use. Now I'm on, what was that? Youths. Remember how he said that? Oh gosh, what is his name? He played the lawyer. Anyway, lost it. My cousin Vinny, thank you very much. There's Ian coming in hot. Utes. Gonna have Utes anyway. I have some documentation in which there are gentlemen who were sailors back in the day who wrote about the mermaids. That's what I want to bring to you. That's what I want to bring to you. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to try to bring something else to you. Hold on. Oh my. I have so much I want to share. Give me a. Oh, I am so sorry. I knocked something over on my desk and it was a big noise. My apologies. Oh my. Let me see. I just thought of this and I just want to show you. Sooner or later, feds are gonna get them. Sooner or later, feds are gonna win. It's just a matter of time before they start dropping dimes. There we go. All right, let me see where this is. I just wrote that, and I think it's going to be a big, big hit. All right, my darlings, hold on. I'm gonna show you the next time. Look at her. She's watching. Ian's walking through. She's watching him like, how dare you go through the airspace? Yes, Canine. Yes, those were we will have a mermaid show. We will also have the Demon Bell shows. I will also have a show on the Vatican and how they have the demon in the cellar. I wanted to show you a couple of the books that I have that are in, oh, hello, that I have had put, that I had to copy because they fell apart. They are historical books. Some are in French, but a lot of them are from the turn of the last century on card reading, on all kinds of cool things. But these are like books that I've had forever that were in my library and they're just disintegrated. So I did put them, smart, I did copy and put them on a disc. And now I've copied the disc. So there we go. Yeah, she likes singing. So we're going to have some shows, my darlings. Absolutely. I'm also going to tell you this. I'm very close because Lord Gregor has had some things to do. Oh, hello. Where are we? Had some things to do as well. We are putting that together, and there is one subject from the 1500s that he talked about that will blow your mind because it was blowing mine. And I didn't know it. And he watches, and he knows that I talk about that subject sometimes. And holy mackerel. So I will definitely announce that in time for you to be listening, and we'll go from there. You're not going to see us on camera. We're going to be talking. It's going to be an audible podcast because he does not appear on camera. How old do I think he is? I believe that he's been around since the 1500s. Just based on, because I've done a little research. So I've seen him one time on a Zoom call because I insisted. Is all I got to say. And he was in Castle Keep. I could see the background. I could see, so it wasn't like he was in some flat in New York somewhere. Yeah. I mean, tell me that I'm attracted to older men without telling me that I'm attracted to older men, I think. Hello. but it's the wealth of knowledge, that world knowledge, that is not, some of it has not been written in the history books, and many of the knowledge has been forgotten. Wow. So my darlings, get ready, because November and December are going to be very good. And yes, we're going to continue to do a lot of this content. It's going to be, oh, Rita, it's going to be a lot of fun. So I want to tell you, my darlings, and yes, there's the Amazon wish list. I am going to update that. But listen, knowledge is power. You remember that? I want you all to remember, knowledge is power. Come Monday night, 7 p.m. That is New York, America time. I will be here. We're going to be talking about manifesting and doing all kinds of different things. Oh my goodness, Goodmans. I'm an old soul. Mr. G is 25 years older than you. You know what? Why not? Why not? I think that's wonderful. And I love that you're here. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. I know that I met you and you met me through attorney Miss Melanie, and so glad of that. Thank you so much. But we've got all kinds of things to do. In fact, some of these cases, I think, I know I'm going to invite some people. I totally get that. Hello. We're the same person, and I totally get that too. The Goodmans are so kind, wonderful people. We're gonna take this into the next level in the next couple of months. Plus, I'm going to be talking to you on Monday about what we can expect for the month of November, and what these cases can expect for the month of November. And I invite you to go back and look at Trooper Pooper Proctor's numerology reading, because listen, we're just getting started on that particular thing. We're just getting started. There's so much. Karen Reed, I can almost tell you that they will be dropping, per the cards that I see, they will be dropping documents. Now, I don't have the facts. This is psychic stuff. Cards say they will be dropping the lawsuits before Thanksgiving. And there's a reason that you do that. There's a reason that you do that. Because it's psychological. You mess with them for the holidays. It's wonderful. So thank you so much. You guys are wonderful. Yeah, Kathy, you did find me through attorney Melanie Little. You did. It's great. So my darlings, I've got a little outro for you. I want to thank you for your generosity tonight and sending me all these goodies. Maeve, thank you again for that beautiful gift. I love it. And I love you guys. You guys are wonderful. Mods, I love you. You guys are fantastic. Thanks for being here, and the fireplace and all of this. I wish I had some marshmallows that we could all have together. I love it. Let me take these. Oops. I need to take these little goodies down so my outro will play correctly. So you guys are fantastic. Good night, my darlings. Good night. Listen, my mods have got my back, and I love them. And listen, they take care of me. I couldn't have done it without them. And I think Mrs. Marie is watching, so good night to you too, Chicky Booley. And good night, Ian. I'll see. I used to do this when he was little, because I've always worked from home. So he would be always, are you leaving now? No. And I would say, buddy, I'll call you when I get to work. Okay, Mom. So I would go into the next room and I would say, buddy, I'm at work now. Yes, I was a weird mom, but I think I was a cool mom. Anyway, here we go, my darling. Thanks again for being here. I'm going to leave you with this, and I'll see you Monday night. Have a good weekend. They'll tell you the facts are clear, but the truth always flickers between the lines. In every shadow, there's a secret that refuses to stay buried. Clues hide in symbols, and sometimes even fate won't show its hand. Voices echo not just from the living, but from the silence they leave behind. I'm Lady Zelda. This is Seeing Crime, where what's hidden doesn't stay hidden for long. Until next time, keep watching.